So the last time I did one of these types of videos, I did it back about a few months ago, talking about if Sony or PlayStation was never a thing. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Sega and its quote-unquote managed to survive and had a successful console out of the Dreamcast. Let's begin. So, Sega and Nintendo's rivalry was one of the most influential in gaming history. This being the birth of essentially what we will see later on with PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo. But what if Sega managed to survive, in air quotes? Well, for starters, this wouldn't have changed much, as Sega would have been doomed to actually fail if the Dreamcast did excellent in sales. The next console Sega would make, let's say the Dreamcast 2, wouldn't be up to par with the 360, Wii, and PS3. And the reason of that is the PS3 and the 360 and the Wii to some extent had multiplayer compatibility, while the Dreamcast was more like the old school type of console. So if the Dreamcast 2 came out, it would have been a lot of drastic changes. For starters, Sega would have actually had to ditch something or change a lot of components around to make it a disc playing game or a disc drive type of console, I meant to say, and actually had more flexibility, have online support, and all this. This, as well as if this would happen, Sega would have been under pressure from the larger consoles if they made the Dreamcast 2, and it would have cracked because they couldn't compete. Sega didn't have the money or the resources to compete. And not only that, when Sega was close to death, and it's our current timeline, Sega really didn't actually have anything. The only thing that Sega had was all of its games being out and sold on other consoles, versus making their games exclusive to their consoles, which kind of helped them to doom no matter what. And I'm pretty sure someone will quote me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm pretty sure Sonic never had a game on that Dreamcast. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but I know that I'm just wrong. But I wanted to try to find some sort of positives to actually help Sega and maybe show if a Dreamcast 2 would have been possible, but it would have been impossible even if the Dreamcast did better in sales than in our timeline. As Sega would have never had resources in sales, like I said before, but the three larger console companies, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, would just play soccer with Sega and essentially just see which one will bang it out of the entire court and actually pick up all the pieces and use it in their console game library for generations to come. But even though um, if Sega did manage to survive, it wouldn't even make it to the late 2000s or even to the current date of 2019. Now Sega is still alive, but it's not a console company. It's a company that just creates video games mostly underneath Nintendo. But even though the Dreamcast would have never made it up to par with the current generation of consoles, or even the 360, PS3, and Wii, if the second Dreamcast came out. But even though Sega's console legacy, after their beautiful rivalry with Nintendo, which is hands down the best rivalry of gaming in any sort of situation. Not even the current war, quote unquote, with Xbox, PlayStation, and quote unquote Nintendo could come to par with Nintendo and Sega's beautiful, handcrafted, and honestly one of the best rivalries Trust me, you want to look up your history if you want to learn a thing or two about that. But what is your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments. And I know someone will be like, well, if Sega did this and that, then let me reframe you guys real quick. I did this video before talk about PlayStation and if they never existed. And that video would technically be a way that Sega could have survived if PlayStation and by extension Xbox didn't exist and Nintendo and Sega continued wrapping around with this new, I guess they kept on creating consoles, but it would never be where our consoles are now with 4K, maybe 4K, but it wouldn't be like super high def, no multiplayer compatibility, etc., etc. This would have been excluded. So yeah, but if you guys want to see another video talking about if Sega could have make it alive, or even another console company like Xbox, Atari, Nintendo, if you want to see any one of those companies also not exist, let me know, because I'll help you guys out with that health issue. Anyways, dudes, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I am the vaccine, and yeah, I'll catch you dudes in the next video, and happy Halloween too. Peace.